My name is Isabella Gaha Namodi. I like to go by my middle name, Gaha, which is also the name that was known when I was in JKUAT. I currently serve as the CEO and team leader of Tuendelee Foundation. But previously, I've worked both in the corporate as well as the non-profit sector, which I'll tell you a bit more about. I was in JKUAT between 2000 and 2005, and I did the mechanical engineering. I chose JKUAT for the university education for two reasons. First, at the time, it was one of the universities that was known to be serious academically, few interruptions, maybe in way of strikes, and so it was the go-to place. And I felt because I was picking engineering, JKUAT was very well known for engineering and technology. So I felt that I'm going to the best for engineering and technology. Engineering is a very demanding course. The lecturers were demanding, the environment was demanding and competitive. So I had to go out of my way to do my best to be the best. One of the things I learned, you can never be good at everything. So some of the courses I would teach my colleagues, others they would teach me because they were better than me. And so one of the key things was teamwork. The other thing is when something needs to be done, it has to be done. There are times we had practical work that was very demanding. We would work until late to get it done. So just the idea of work hard, get the job done when it's needed is something that JKUAT and the engineering program taught me. In the mechanical engineering class, I was the only lady, which, sometimes it was a surprise. You with another 29 gentlemen in the class, how is it? I just learned that we can do it together. It doesn't matter. So very early on, it was easy to mingle with the gentlemen. So it's no wonder when I was done, I was really looking for a career in engineering. When I finished school, it was commonplace to take a hard copy of your CV and walk in industrial area, dropping it and hoping for a job. So I would go to this engineering company in industrial area with my CV, and I ask to see the person in charge of engineering that I can talk to about the job I'm looking at. So he comes to the door at the reception, he looks at me and I tell him what I'm looking for, and he laughs. And he laughed a lot and said, "You, a girl, engineering." And he laughed again. It was painful, it was difficult. But at the same time, I should have understood, having been the only lady in my class, not many people were used to seeing ladies doing engineering. Of course, I was saddened, and sadly I didn't get that position, but it didn't it didn't kill my spirit to pursue engineering. I did look out for other opportunities. They weren't as forthcoming then. But at the same time, when we were in our last year of campus, there's some companies that came for graduate recruitment at the university. One of them was an audit firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers, that was doing recruitment just before we finished. And I think some of the things that this gentleman didn't know is what audit firms know, because they look for the best and the brightest, and they know that we can teach you anything. So long as you've gone through the program, you're good enough and you can excel. Yeah. So I did join as a graduate audit associate and worked through the ranks for quite a while. So what happened is that I had to learn accounting. The good part about it is that I was doing theory and practice. So I would go to class, I would study, but at the same time, I would go to the field. In the first year, it's really a training year. So there's someone actually assigned to help you grow. And that's something that was done for me. And I saw the important link between theory and practice when we did this together. Remember I said there are times when I felt the program had some theory that I wish had more practical. So here I could see the proper alignment. And one of the questions that we asked on joining the organization is how come they pick engineers, they pick doctors? They said, when you get the right quality of people, they can be taught anything. And the beauty about engineering is that it makes you inquisitive. It you want to find a solution. So we make good accountants because we look for solutions and we don't stop. Remember I told you about working hard, working late when it's necessary until you get the solution. So this is what they look for, and then you can be the best you can be in whatever field that you're called upon. So that's how my journey started, and that's also how I shifted from practicing engineering into practicing accounting. I since graduated. I'm an ACCA. I qualified with the ACCA, that's the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, and now I'm a fellow of ACCA. I'm also qualified with CPA. I'm a CPA-K. But in addition, I went ahead to get a master's in business and administration, so an MBA. So after working in audit, I did the finance manager role. I did some internal audit work in an insurance company, Liberty Life. And then I went abroad for a 1-year master's program. Yeah, and I think that was now the shift from corporate into nonprofit. Yeah, once I was done with my MBA, I felt like giving back is something that I really wanted to do. And I joined the International Committee of the Red Cross as a finance and administration manager. And there I worked in different countries. International Committee of the Red Cross is called ICRC. And ICRC works in areas that are affected by armed conflict and situations of violence. And it's about helping those who are in need under those circumstances, because I felt the call to do that for humanity. So I did that for a while. And I think I should bring a link between the engineering I had kind of left but didn't really fully leave, and what happened here, because being in charge of finance and administration, it was not just the finance that I was responsible for, but administration, which includes property, contracts, maintenance. So I found the course on air conditioning that I did in campus very helpful when we had to do maintenance. Some of the mechanical engineering practices when we had to look at our construction works, which I was also responsible for. So I think it's also important to say that, when you finish campus and the degree you get, sometimes you're not able to get into it immediately, directly, or fully, but the skills that you build are able to help you maneuver in whichever field. The interesting things that I found extracurricular, actually one of the things that made me when I was in school, I just got into campus and 2 weeks later, the basketball team was going for a tournament in Nakuru. So because I love sports, I love basketball, I joined right there and then. And basketball is one of the things, one of the university activities that shaped me a lot. So we did compete. When I joined, we were playing basically tournaments. We went ahead to play the Nairobi League. By the time we're leaving, we had been promoted to the Premier League. Yeah, it just shows you with hard work. And when the university gives you opportunity, what can be done now? Among our trips out of the country was basketball that took us to Kampala and Dar es Salaam for East Africa University Games. So I'd say outside of academics, there was also the sports that was very helpful to shape us all around while studying at JKUAT. This year, one of our students, Mary Mbide, she loves to run. And I said we try to build our students all around. She attended a marathon, the Alliance Classic Run. What we try to do is to expose the students as well in other activities so that they can also exploit their extracurricular talents and build themselves wholesomely. So when we went to participate at this run and also support, because the run supports high school students at Alliance. Yeah. So when we went to support the run, we also met a potential partner with whom we were able to organize for an internship for Mary Mbide. So while she was on vacation, she studies BCom at the University of Nairobi. She was able to get internship. Her skills in practical accounting increased significantly. She was able to do a team building event in Mombasa. You can imagine someone who maybe even thinking, how do I finish school? How do I go to class? Because I don't have transport. Has her education covered, she has her internship. She's been able to do a team building, and build a community among the colleagues at Nijenge Credit. Nijenge Credit, by the way, is an institution by a JKUAT Alumni, who's also a CATCOM member that we are in touch with. So she got all that experience. And because she did so well, when she finished her internship, Nijenge was willing to take on an additional Tuendelee Foundation scholar. The name Tuendelee stands for a lot. It's about development and it's about progress that we are able to do when we collaborate with others. And you can see if we are able to, network and keep our contacts among alumni, there's a lot we can do together. So how do internships work at Tuendelee? At Tuendelee, we do internships in two different ways. One, you may be interned at Tuendelee itself. As we speak, we have 2 students who are interning with us. And depending on the course, this can be even in other programs, not just accounting, which are the students we sponsor. As we speak, we have an IT intern working with us and a law student as well. So we have the foundation, but at the same time, because we felt we would need to give our students practical experience, we started a bookkeeping consulting firm. Yeah, it's called Tuendelee Consulting. And what Tuendelee Consulting does is to do books of accounts for small and medium enterprises that don't necessarily need a full-time accountant, but they still see value in this service. So we can help them either with the normal accounting work or with the annual financial audits. And right now, based on our strategy, we are also looking at growing into other advisory work that we would do for small and medium enterprises. Yes, so to the graduating class of 2025, if you're wondering what next, you're just about to leave campus, I have some piece of advice for you. First and foremost, if there's that one dream you've had, keep it going. Sometimes it takes a while, but it gets there eventually, yeah? So with time and effort, Tuendelee is growing, it's making an impact. With time and effort, whatever it is you feel called to do, just keep at it.